When one goes through hardships, pain and sorrow cause a sharp feeling into our hearts, and sometimes can lead into the outcome of depression. Depression is today's most common mental illness that is one of the leading factors into triggering a teen's most second common death, suicide. Phil Donahue once said, "Suicide is just a permanent solution to a temporary problem," illustrating that the result of one's death was the relief of their predicament. Such an illustration that even I was going through at one point in my life. Statistics show that men are more successful than women when attempting suicide, since they use more harsh, deadly forms, such as using guns or knives, while women use forms such as consuming a numerous amount of sleeping pills. This, of course, doesn't give one much time to help save the life of a man who used a gun. However, it does give one time to clean a woman's system after consuming pills at a near hospital, possibly leaving the individual unharmed. The National Strategic Prevention of Suicide lists many key elements into helping save one's life, such as providing information of websites, steps into handling situations in a precautious manner. Depression isn't treated from one day to another. In fact, it can take more than years to overcome. My phase of depression took over about a year to get over. And still today, when I speak about it, my throat gets all choked up. As the author of Prevention of Suicide states, positive resistance to suicide is not permanent, so programs that support and maintain protection against suicide should be ongoing. An event that may have changed one's life can at times be remembered. Financial standings can easily haunt an individual with worries, and the feeling of not belonging anywhere can take control of one's decision. It is very important to take a breather and to talk to someone who's willing to help solve your problem without having to deal with the possibility of death. Teenagers are more likely to commit suicide as they go through the beginning stages of adulthood and cannot deal with the obstacles alone. Some unfortunately don't have many people to go to, or they just feel like outcasts going through their battles. A national survey authored by Lindsay M. Hayes stated that more teenagers die from suicide than cancer, heart diseases, AIDS, birth defects, strokes, pneumonia and influenza, and chronic lung disease all combined. Scary, isn't it? In her news article of juvenile suicide and confinement in the year 2000, information such as suicide rates of 10.8 per 100,000 deaths in 1992, one could see that it has just gotten worse looking at a more recent chart. If one were to look at the suicide rates in 2013, one would see that it has increased from a 10.8 to 12.6 per 100,000 deaths. These are deaths of individuals who needed someone, who needed comfort, or who needed mental help in general. Did you all know that more than 35% of inmates have some sort of psychological disorder or depression? Had these individuals gotten tested and medicated or helped in some sort of way, they might not have acted as they did when they committed their crimes. I truly believe that some crimes and deaths could have been prevented if they or a witness had caught their symptoms sooner. People with mental illnesses, like being bipolar, are at a different state of mind, and at times can take their anger and frustration out on others, and even themselves. Sarah Glazer explains how the number of mentally ill inmates has mushroomed in recent years, as states have closed their psychiatric hospitals in favor of outpatient community mental health centers that typically are unfunded and overcrowded. Moreover, explaining the cause and effect of their suicide rates. The thing about depression is that you can't always easily see it in others. Take the famous actor Owen Wilson, who played a main character in Marley and Me, as an example. One would think he has money. He has so many individuals who love him. What more could he want, right? Well, in 2007, he surprised everyone when he slit his wrists and attempted to end his life as he tried to overdose on a drug. Why? Well, turned out that he had been fighting a series of depression. Depression works in some on and off way that when one is alone and gets affected by it, your actions are going to depend on what your mind's thinking at the moment. In the report authored by Marcia Clement, Treating Depression, she states that depression including severe depression, also can occur without being triggered by stressors, and scientists believe that some people are simply biologically more vulnerable to the illness, illustrating that not only can you have this outcome due to an event, but many are even genetically passed down this illness. This is why I believe that it is always important to have good communication with people, whether it's with family or friends, since they are the ones who are going to look after you and can notice when something's wrong. Suicide is an issue in today's world that might not completely stop, but can definitely be reduced with the help of others. I strongly encourage others to help one another, even if the situation is small, because just like everything else, the smallest effort can make a big difference. If it weren't for my father, I don't think I would have been here at the moment. Smile, laugh, communicate, see the positive side to everything. We literally do only live once, so we might as well make the best out of it. Thank you.